They've done it again. Johan Durant and Stephen Mitchell are the APTA national champions for the second year in a row.
There you have it, your women's APTA national champions, Florentina Harnish and Anna Maria Sabori.
Union, New Jersey.
Hello and welcome to the APTA's Grand Prix Series. We're live from the Orchard Lake Country Club in West Bloomfield Township, Michigan, bringing you the Detroit Invitational Grand Prix. Sponsored by the APTA membership, our national sponsor Viking, and local sponsors Fast Tech Global, Cook Wealth Management, Grand Steel, GSD Companies, Wilson Partners, Etkin Real Estate Solutions, CBRE, Stash, Fortis Net Lease, Diag Partners, Bob Woodruff Foundation, the Boisterous Companies, Gen Oil, Dark House Brewery, and Jack McNaughton, playing paddle since 1970. I'm Mark Fischel, along with Lauren Mandel, bringing you this semifinal match. Lauren, why don't you introduce the players? Okay, we're Harnish Sabori, severely tested, saved 5 match points in that quarterfinal with Maria and Prop, which was obviously a tremendous match. Molenveld Tenaro threw relatively easily. So just to remind our viewers, we're going to have regular scoring 2 out of 3 sets. Add till the game is decided. So this should be a fun matchup. Molenveld Tenaro, or a pickup team. Molenveld's normal partner, Annika Cooper, has been injured, and they're planning on making a return to action in Cincinnati last year. They made the national semifinals and played a terrific match against Cruz Nicolescu, losing in 3 hard sets. Cruz Nicolescu went on to lose in the finals to Harnish Sabori. So should be fun. See if Harnish Sabori can fix whatever problems they had in the last match. Molenveld recently moved out here. She's the new director of rackets at the Birmingham Athletic Club, a position she's really excited to have and is really looking forward to being in the Detroit area. Alice Tenaro's been one of the most talented players in the game in the last few years, kind of looking for a breakthrough. Played with different people, played a little bit with Allison Morgan, and is really kind of figuring it out with the help of Brian Heil in terms of how to transition her tennis game to paddle. And I would say it's one of the most simplest games. I say that as a high compliment in terms of the transition from one sport to the other. She's really been great at it. We saw her win Indianapolis last year with Allison Morgan. Our chair umpire is Rob Laboon, former top paddle player.
Mirta, you going to serve first?
Rob's had one of his hips replaced. It was actually scheduled to have the other hip replaced recently in what was an aborted procedure, but Rob is healthy and well and all good. So the sun has kind of gone behind the clouds, and there's virtually no wind, which apparently is waiting to come tomorrow. I understand we're supposed to get 40 to 50 mile an hour winds tomorrow, which should make for some fun paddle. So the women are now disrobing a little bit and getting ready to go. We should mention this is part of the APTA Tour, the 21-22 APTA Tour, which is comprised of 16 tournaments, including 4 Grand Prix, of which this is 1 in Nationals, 10 of which are live streamed. I think this is our 6th tournament on the tour, the 2nd Grand Prix. At the end of the season, the APTA Cup will be awarded, which includes $40,000 in prize money. The top 4 players in the men's and women's standings based on the tour results. Each player's best 6 results will count towards the APTA Cup. Okay, so Hanish Sabori in matching red pants. Get ready to go. Tunaro to serve to take us out. Serving to floor Hanish.
Love 15.
Big forehand return here from Hanish. Expect to see a lot of breaks of serve today. Zabori with a behind the back shot. Didn't take too long to get that shot for us. The over-under on Zabori behind the back and between the leg shot is 3.5. It's on FanDuel if anybody's looking for some action. Serving is so difficult in these warm days, and it's got to be close to 50 degrees here in Bloomfield Hills. Molenveld with an excuse me volley, which she fraudulently apologizes for. I think a good start is imperative for Molenveld Tunaro. Oh, great hands. A great response there from Tunaro.
Deuce.
See if Tunaro can get the serve in here. She faulted the last 2 times to the deuce court. That's a good return from Hanish. Finding that right hip, as we talked about in the last match. Got to spot those drives. Little confusion. Big shout out to Jane Jacobs, watching up in Weston. Big fan of Zabori's. All 4 women teaching professionals, so as Jerry Vian would say, they're used to having a racket or a paddle in their hands.
Advantage, Miss Zabori.
Couple of big forehands there from Hanish. Molenveld misses that one.
Game, Hanish Zabori. They win the first game of the first set.
And Hanish Sabori can be like a locomotive when they get going. So you really want to stay close to him. Okay, Anna Maria Zabori to serve.
Miss Zabori to serve.
She's serving to Myrta Molenveld. Big rip there from Tunaro.
Love 15.
Little static
Love
from
30.
Zabori early. Kind of got caught there standing around. Good return from Molenveld. And that's the strength of her game. She's great off the ground, drives the ball from both sides. I think the backhand is a little more effective than the forehand.
Molenveld, Tanaru. Games are 1-all. First set.
Okay, Myrta Molenveld to serve, and
Molenveld
she's
to
serving
serve.
to Florentina Hanisch.
Love 15. All.
A lot of misses early from Zabori. I really like how Molenveld Tenaro look at the net early. Usually pick up teams, that's where they struggle the most, knowing who to hit which balls. But so far they look pretty good.
15-30.
Miss volley there from Molenveld. Couple of faults.
15-40.
Oh, great reaction from Molenveld. And Hanisch hits the right hip of Tenaro.
Hanisch, Zabori. They
They're ahead
lead
2-1 first set.
First set.
Good morning, Mark.
Jerry Viant.
Happy
Saturday.
Thank you.
You still
Thank
deep
you.
in quarantine?
Okay. I am in quarantine, yes. I am on the home stretch. 5 more days to go, but come on, bring me up to date, and I'm so happy to be calling this match with you.
Well, I am
What is
thrilled
it,
and delighted to have you.
First set?
Ms. Hanisch,
Thank you.
3 breaks of serve to start, and you haven't missed
Okay.
much.
All right.
15
We got
love.
4 Hanisch serving. Very excited to see the new combo here, Mark.
If Hanisch Zabori had a absolute barn burner, saved 5 match points in the quarterfinals
15 all.
against Heather Propp and her partner Maria.
I kind of had a feeling that was going to be a good match. Maria Mataka? How do you say her last name?
Somebody told me they pronounced it
30,
Maria. I thought
15.
it was Murtaka also.
Yeah, Mataka. Marie's her first name. Yeah, I watched her play last year, and I saw that she was playing a couple of tournaments with Heather Propp. I was like,
30
well,
all.
she's gonna learn a lot quickly. So
I think they lost the first set of their first match to Cran Herschel 6-love. So she got better pretty quickly.
right, and so Molenveld Tenaro. This is the first time they're playing together, right?
Yep.
30,
Annika
30.
Cooper's still
Mer-
injured, although she's starting to play a little bit more. And
Right.
Myrta being out here in the Midwest, they decided to play.
So a lot
Deuce.
of tennis skills out there.
4 women, all of whom played D1 tennis. Although I don't think there's a whole lot of question who the best of them is. I think that there are 3 good tennis players and Zabori, who was at least a level above. Yeah, you see the spin really bothered Tenaro. Zabori's generating a lot of spin in that overhead, Jerry. You'll have to
Advantage, Ms. Hanisch.
do a technical demonstration of where it all comes from.
Yeah, she's really on those last couple. She's really rotated her shoulders very well.
Game, Ms. Hanisch, Ms. Zabori. They lead 3-1. First set.
And you don't see a lot of the
So that's
lot
the
of
first
spin.
hold?
First hold of the match. You don't see a lot of spin in the women's overhead, so that's definitely going to be an adjustment for Tenaro.
Right.
Well, Molenveld with her second excuse me volley of the match. Well, Zabori is just so smooth, isn't she, Jerry?
Love 15.
Yeah, she really is setting up early. She's seeing the court very well. And Molenveld, Tenaro, you know, they've really got to to watch the speed of play, because if they give them too much pace, it just gives both
30.
Harnish and Zabori more opportunities. They love the pace, they love the scrambling. They're both athletic, so Molinville, Tanaro really just need to play controlled, steady points to kind of get into this match.
Yeah, they had a chance early on. A big forehand from Tanaro there. On Tanaro's serve and gave away a couple of points. First couple of service games, they faulted twice in each game. And you just can't give Harnish Zabori much of anything.
Love 40.
Both Harnish and Zabori really spotting their drives well early, finding that right hip.
What is the temperature out there, Mark?
50.62 degrees Fahrenheit. Do you need to convert that for you, or are you going to be okay?
Could you be? You know, I am having an issue. I had
Zabori, they lead 4
not to
games
interrupt
one,
what's happening with the
first
match,
set.
but I did have to get a cable to hardwire in, and I'm measuring it out in feet, and they're like, no, I have to have it
I was
in
gonna say,
meters.
ladies, do you want the lights
No.
Okay, Viking.
Anyway.
One ball to rule them all. One ball is constantly chosen for the sport's highest level tournaments, league play, social events, and weekend outings. Viking. For the last 25 years, we've made the overwhelming choice. Viking, unleash the warrior in you. The official ball of the APTA, the official ball of the National Championships and President's Cup, and the official ball of the Grand Prix Series. So what are you seeing out there so far, Jerry?
Well, it just looks like Harnish Zabori. It's their speed of play. I've only seen 2 games, and I'd like to really see Molinville and Tanaro just settle down and just get into this match.
Love 15.
Because they've got the racket skills, obviously. They haven't played together, so there's going to be some figuring out as we go along. But, you know, just... looks like that was a fault. Yeah,
30.
Yep.
4 great athletes out here. Oh, that's a good shot of the club, too.
Beautiful club right in the lake.
I have not been there, so you'll have to give me a rundown after this match, Mark.
Yeah, I was talking earlier before you got on, Jerry, that usually with pickup teams, the place they struggle the most is at the net. Oh, but we have not seen that from these guys. Okay, that's 2 between the legs behind the back shots for Zabori. The over-under is 3.5, Jerry. I was on FanDuel. We were talking about that earlier.
15, 30.
Okay.
But they look very comfortable at the net together.
I just love Tanaro's forehand. Right, big.
I was talking to Graham McNerney about her last year, and he thought that she transitioned, took her tennis game to the paddle court as well as anybody he'd ever seen.
Oh, that's a little
15,
lazy there
40.
on the volley.
That's a good ball right there. You know, Zabori's not lacking in a lot of confidence, is she, Jerry?
Harnish Zabori lead 4 games to 2.
So other than
first set.
I saw Tanaru play, was it Indy last year?
Indy, she and
played
Allison
that
Morgan
Grand
won
Prix,
Indy.
right? She did, yeah. And I don't think I saw her play after that. So
She was
she's
scheduled to
not
play
playing a lot of
Midwesterns
tournaments.
with Roxy Inika, and that didn't happen. And then she lost early at Charities. I think they lost in the quarters of the 16s to Wendy Spiz and Martina Andrekova.
Yeah, so I mean, it's even more impressive, you know, to be able to hang close on points with these guys who, you know, obviously have a lot more tournaments and experience. But that's where she's going to get beat, is in that
15.
spin overhead. She's not used to seeing that spin overhead.
Morgan Sikora up 3-2. First set. On Shea and Sutter. Yeah, that's just a really well-placed forehand from Zabori. That's something she's improved
30.
enormously the last 6 months or so.
Looking to take those shots, aim higher over the net. A little more room for error. Plus, it's a tougher shot for your opponents to volley.
Molinville Tenaro better do something about return of serve,
40.
because what they're doing now is not working. They've served, this will be their fourth service game, and I don't think they've won 5 points. Oh, that's a good drive from Flor Hanish.
Game. Hanic, Zabori.
Yeah,
They
just
lead 5
their-
games to 2. First set.
Their ability to stretch the lead, it becomes more and more difficult when they're locked into their rhythm, and you can see how comfortable they are to trying to slow them down. So,
Well, especially having survived the
Molinville.
last match, makes you feel almost invulnerable when you get through a match like that. I'm speaking from what other people told me, not that I would know about that. I don't know, you were ever
Yeah.
down 5 match points in your whole career, Jerry.
I'm sure I was at some in there. But yeah, I mean, I kind of thought that was going to be a tough match for them, like I said when I first came on, and it's a good test. I mean, teams have nothing to lose when they play against them, and obviously, they're the team to beat right now. National champions, and they've won the
Love
last 2
15.
tournaments.
They are the big dogs on the street, especially with Cruz Nicolescu not playing.
Yeah, for sure, and that's a whole different feeling.
Molinville doing wind sprints back and forth.
Yeah, she's putting the pressure on. She likes to move forward. And Hanish Saborik focusing
15 all.
completely on Tenaro.
And you could see Tenaro kind of struggling a little bit with the pace of play, the type of overhead she's seeing, which is not surprising because there are not a lot of teams like this in the
Right.
country.
Right, and again, she's just not playing the tournaments. She just hasn't
30,
had the
15.
experience of being on the court. I'd love to see her play more tournaments. I mean, she's on a fast learning curve.
She has all the physical skills, which is, of course,
40,
about half the
15.
battle. Double set point. Okay, there it is. Game in first set. Hanish Sabori 6-2.
They win the
Be
first
right back
set,
in a moment
6
after these
games to
messages
2.
right here on the APTA YouTube channel, presented by eNet
About
Live.
30 ladies for TV.
Done. Great job. Hey, good stuff to you. Patty, good job. Yeah, a lot of fun. You guys look great out there. How long have you been playing?
Who, me? Oh, I've been playing my whole life. How about you?
Wow, I only started playing when I retired.
Someone say retired?
Looking good out there, Eli.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome back to the APTA Grand Prix Series. We're after the first set of the semifinal battle. Jerry, what do we need to see more of from Molinville Tenaro to kind of slow the Hanish Zabori train down?
Yeah, well, I mean, they've just got to get more balls in the court. They've got to really just focus on paddle 101 and figure out a way to stop Zabori spinning those overheads into Tenaro's corner. So she's got to lob down the line higher and
everybody.
deeper, which is going to make it tougher for Sabori. Once Sabori's inside that service box, she can turn her shoulders like that. I mean, she just got too much spin on the ball for Tenaro to be able to handle and also build the point. So if she can get her
Second set.
lobs up higher and deeper down the line and try to get Molinville in the point, Tenaro's going to start serving this set.
Well, I like the fact they came out in the I formation, Boy, Flor Hannes is just hitting everything. She's playing
Love
great.
15.
But they've got to find some way to neutralize return to serve. If they can't do that, then it's going to be a very fast match. We're going to be done in about 20 minutes. That's a good strategy. Hit that lead cord serve. Well, that was an aggressive swing from Flor Hannes from 4 feet behind the
15
baseline.
all.
That looked more like Martin Bostrom than Flor Hannes.
Well, you can see they're relaxed, but they're really, these are the kind of points you don't want to give stuff away. You want to just keep the momentum going and keep hitting the shots that win championships.
The funny thing is, I thought they gave away a lot in the first set. 2 games worth. Yeah, that's a shot that Alice
15,
Tenaro
30.
can hit, but it's not about whether you can hit, it's about whether you should hit it. At this point of the match, to your point, they've got to find a better pace.
Yeah, that's too quick, obviously. Just be willing to hang in there.
15,
And again,
40.
see that height? The height of the ball, the height that the ball went over the net there. Zabori, she found Tenaro's right armpit, and that is just a really tough place to volley.
Game. Hanish, Zabori. They lead 1 game to love.
That makes them 0
Second
for
set.
5 on serve, and they've
Hanish
made it
Zabori
to
won the
deuce
first
once.
Set, 6 games to 2.
Did you put the clock on that, Mark?
I did. I
I know
had that
how
at,
you like to keep
I-
stats
I had
on
that at
everything.
78 seconds.
Is there any updates on the other semifinal?
The last score we got was 3-2, Morgan Sikora first set. We'll try and get another score for our viewers and for you shortly. The crack APTA team here is running around getting scores, led by our inimitable executive director, Ann Sheedy.
Love 15.
This is Flor Hannes serving. Love 15 to Alice Tenaro.
15 all.
Yeah, Molinville Tenaro had the easiest route here, Jerry. The only one of the 4 teams that did not lose a set in the quarters. And I don't know that that served them well.
Yeah, you like to have some good matches, especially as a new team. You like to have some longer points.
Boy,
that's
Zabori
a
showing
great
off her
break.
whole array of
30,
overheads.
15.
She's setting up the same way, so she's holding it, and she can disguise it, and that adds another element to having to deal with a spin overhead. You don't, as a receiver of that, you're not sure what's coming at you.
Good pace from Hanish there in the overhead.
Oh,
40,
lovely shot
15.
there. Slash deep in the last foot of the court, almost hitting the snowboards. Doesn't get any better than that, Mark.
You can just see Zavori feels under no pressure whatsoever.
No, she's loose.
40, 30. Game. Hannes, Zabori, they lead 2 games to love.
Jerry-
That's just the pressure. That's just the
Yep.
pressure of trying to figure out what I should do, because that was a routine forehand that she probably would not miss that often, and I'm sure she's got a lot of emotions happening right now. Like, what am I looking at? What am I dealing with? There's nothing comfortable. Zabori's overhead is making her uncomfortable.
I love that Molinville's back here talking to her about what's going on. Because she just
Yeah.
needs to slow down, find her base, and play good basic paddle right now.
Yep.
Okay, they're staying
Let's
back on
get that
Molinville
ball
serve,
back.
which I think is a great move.
Yep. just, have to hit more balls. Just have a willingness to hit bread and butter shots.
Love 15.
And I would take Zabori completely out of the match right now if they can. Zabori's just putting too much spin on the ball for Tanara to be able to handle.
But now that's all mental. That's a ball she just got to lob back.
Love 30.
And this is what athletics is all about, when your brain is kind of scrambled eggs, just settling in, remembering what you do well. And that's not it for Molenveld.
Love 40.
What was that Aussie expression about water and drain? What was it,
The water
Jerry?
goes down the drain.
It's going down
Yeah.
very rapidly right now.
Yeah, you really hope that they can right the ship here. Just get a couple more
Game.
balls in the
Hanish,
court.
Zabori.
5-3,
They lead
Shea
3
Sutter.
games to love.
First
Second
set.
Hanish Zabori won the first set, 6 games to 2.
It's just tough for them to get any traction.
Well, that last game, they started staying back. They drove the first ball that came through, faulted, and then didn't stay back on the fourth point. I mean, they just didn't give it a chance to happen.
Love 15.
All right, Tanara needs a big return of serve here and then come in behind it.
She hit some big returns to serve, and they went through, and they got beat in transition.
Right.
15 all.
Yeah, I mean, their best shot is to try to find a way to get to net.
I think right now they got to hit 25 lobs. Just slow the pace down, get into the match.
Yeah, but yes. It's just that the lobs are not enough. Again, I mean,
30,
it's
15.
deep in the court and it's a snowboard with a slash. So the lobs just have to be higher and deeper. But right now, I mean, both Hanish and Zabori are just feeling the ball so well.
30
except for that shot. I'm not sure what happened right there. Little casual.
Well, it's almost like an exhibition for him at this point. Hanish gets caught on the forehand side.
30, 40.
Yeah, so as well as they're spinning their overheads, they still, Hanish and Zabori, they still have to watch their court positioning.
Great hard overhead from Zabori. Great recognition of how deep in the court Molenveld was.
Advantage, Mr. Naru.
Just hasn't seen that serve before.
There's nobody serving in the women's game right now like Sabori.
There's nobody doing a lot of things in the women's game right now like Zabori. Good move there from Molenveld.
Yeah, nice setup from Tanaro. She lobbed down the line and hit that drive. But you know, Harnish is really stepping in on her
Advantage,
forehand a
Mr.
lot
Bori.
more this season. But there's really no safe spot on the court.
Oh. Ball there from
Deuce.
Tanaro. Zabori was going for her third between the leg shot.
Does that count, Mark?
No,
Advantage.
has to
Going
be
for.
successful. 5-4, Shea Sutter. First set. Oh, great pace on that overhead.
Oh.
Deuce.
You see how Harnish let that ball drop and she rolled over it and kept it in the last 6 inches of the side screen. That is a tough ball to play. Vicky Stock-Lossofer was one of the first female players to hit that shot, that soft roller into the sides, side screen.
What a brilliant player Vicky was. So much fun to watch, so smooth.
Yeah.
Advantage, Miss Zabori.
But it's such a tough shot because, you know, that roller and that side screen, and then it's dropping. If it does make it to the back
Game,
screen, I mean, it's
Miss
you're
Hanich,
just
Miss
playing
Zabori,
keep
they
alive.
lead 4 games to love. Second set.
The train is rolling down the tracks, and it is gaining speed rapidly. Okay, Molenveld
Yeah,
looks like she's
you
going
know.
to stay back here, which I think is a good move.
Again.
Nope,
Yeah.
she's headed in for I formation. Just playing way too fast.
Love 15.
Very impressed with Flor Hanish's forehand.
Yes, she has really stepped it up this season.
Martin Bostrom always denigrates it, but I think he's wrong.
Love 30.
No, don't be causing trouble, Mark.
Who, me? Never. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, right now Alice Tenaro is just kind of elsewhere. Not sure what to do. What's happening? It's all going too fast.
Love 40.
First set, Shea Sutter, 6-4. Thank you, Ann Sheedy.
$15, 40.
Another winner of the
Game.
Hanish forehand,
Hanish
and it's
Zabori.
11-2 in
They
the
lead
Yeah.
5
eighth
games
inning.
to love. Second set. Hanish Zabori won the first set 6 games to 2.
Mark, I'm hoping that this will encourage Tanaro to play more and to get out, you know, because she can compete with these guys.
I think she just needs a
hasn't
regular
had
partner.
the opportunity.
That's what she struggled with.
Right. Right. But, you know, I hope she doesn't get discouraged. I hope it's just the opposite. I hope she's totally encouraged because she does have the racket skills, obviously, to play. She just needs to be on the court and see the court the way the top players are seeing it, and
see the spin and get used to it, because until you see it on a regular
Yeah.
basis, you can't expect to deal with it.
yeah. But I think even just the structure of the points without the spin, she needs to see how to build the points at this
Love
level of play
15.
consistently.
I don't know which team played in Hannah Sabori's spot in the last round, but it wasn't this one.
Just goes to show,
15 all.
the mental part of the game and the strategy part of the game. I would have liked to have seen that match.
Would have been a lot of fun to see.
Playing against a very experienced Heather prop who doesn't get rattled. Nothing
15,
rattles
30.
her.
Nope.
And she has a belief, and she's very complimentary to her partner. She's been encouraging her.
I mean, could Zabori be a little more casual? Just like a little bit more
40.
casual? Think that's possible or not?
Yeah, it's not. I'm not a fan of it, as you know. I think you play every point, but that's her. She's not worried, not fazed by anything. Oh my God, a couple of guest appearance stab volleys.
Yeah.
30, 40.
That's a demoralizing point to lose. Hit 3 great drives. They shanked the last one for a winner.
Game.
Okay, they're on the board.
Molenveld, Tanaru. Hannah Sabori lead 5-1. Second set.
Staying back on the Molenveld serve. But that ball does jump off Tunaro's paddle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
15,
Yeah, she's really getting it to break. It's breaking on the court. It's breaking on the paddle. If she lets it go into the screen, it jumps away from her.
These are some of
Molenveld's
the
got
points they
that
needed to
big-
play.
Yeah, Molenveld hitting it. Big two-handed backhand off the deck. Nice change there.
30, love.
It's all about the footwork, Mark. She didn't have her feet under her.
That's great overhead, great pace there from Zabori.
30, 15.
Again, so that last foot of the court, getting that ball to drop and then getting the last foot of the court, and she's able to then hit the snowboard is just a brutal overhead that she has added to her repertoire
30,
this year.
all.
Boy, that backhand right there was Molenveld's bread and butter.
You can't hit a block
30,
lob
40.
off the deck with that much spin and control it without your weight going forward. You need to be going in, meet that ball with some pace.
Match point. And there it is. Game, set,
Game,
match.
set,
Hash Zabori,
match.
6-2,
Hannah
6-1.
Sabori. 6 games to 2, 6 games to 1.
Thoughts, Jerry?
Thank you, ladies.
Well,
You're
Well, Hanish Sabori definitely, I mean, that was a fun match and a relief match for them to play. You could see how loose they were, sometimes a little too loose, but they definitely hit a lot of shots and you're going to see a lot more new shots. And Tanaro, you know, again, I just want to encourage her to just get out there and play. You know, hopefully she'll find somebody that she can play with. And it's nice to see Myrta Molinville out there. Mark, did you talk about Myrta's
new job at the Birmingham Athletic Club?
Yeah,
moved out here. Yeah.
I mean, how great is that for the Detroit paddle area to have Myrta out there? And I mean, again, especially encouraged. She's going to have a big impact on the paddle scene out there, and hopefully get more top women playing out of the Detroit area.
Yeah, you know, any room that Myrta enters is happier than before she got there. She puts a smile on your face. She's the epitome of what people call good energy.
Yeah.
And having her around is just going to be a huge thing for Detroit.
Yeah. Well, that's a beautiful forehand there, and of course the tweener.
Of course. What other shot would she have hit, Jerry? I mean, really.
Yeah. But I love Tanora's forehand off the deck there. And it's just a combination of shots, you know, that she just they keep adding to their repertoire, and it makes them a dangerous team.
Okay, Jerry, I think we're going to try and go to the secondary court because we can't allow you to leave us after such a short period of time. So we're going to try and jump into the other semi.
Okay, well, I wanted to see if Lauren, I think she can get back on if she wants to do this second match, and I'll come back and do the final, which I was scheduled to do.
Sure. Lauren Mandel, you available to join us?
Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right.
Lauren Mandel, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, we're trying to get
Hi,
some
Lauren.
scores here.
Before I go.
Yeah. Hi, Jerry.
How's it going?
Good. Nice to hear from you from afar.
Yes. Well, I saw the text that you were having trouble getting on, so I just jumped on. But I'll talk to you later. And Mark, I'll see you for the finals.
Looking forward to it, Jerry.
Okay.
So, Lauren, I just got a score of 6-4 to love here. I'm not sure that's right because it looks like they're switching sides.
No, probably not right.
Yeah, so probably not right. But maybe we'll get an updated score, either 2-1 or 3 love. Or maybe just a long chat. And for our viewers, that's Allison Morgan in the black top and her partner Charlotte Sikora in the white top at the net. And I'll identify the players on the other side of the net as we switch cameras. Very impressed, Lauren, at how well Jolene Sutter played in the last match. So
yeah,
that's Jolene in the blue cover, and then Amy Shea disappearing in the pink in the left corner. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Lauren. Go ahead.
No, she's solid as a rock, right? And she drives the ball when the drive is there, and she drives it well, and she doesn't make many mistakes. And she's a great partner for Amy Shea.
And they are rolling right now. They were definitely shaky in that quarterfinal match.
Mm-hmm.
But
they won it on the 10th match point, right?
10th match point, and that was after losing a 5-1 lead in the third.
Yeah.
To Gio and Williamson.
Yeah. In the last time they played, yeah.
At Nationals, 16 snats. Yeah, Jolene's got a lot of offense, a lot of weapons. Sometimes she just stops hitting that forehand of her own accord. I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah, I mean, for Morgan and Sikora, there's a tough matchup for them, and Sikora's got to really be on top of her game in this matchup for them to have a good shot.
And maybe even know what score it is.
Not that we do either.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked a little bit about Sikora in the last match. She's one of the most dynamic talents in the game, but hasn't quite figured out how to transfer that to her play yet.
Yeah, I think it's, I think it's hard for her. There's not a ton of, I mean, it's easier for the players.
I think a lot of people kind of caught up with Allison Morgan's game is that she doesn't generate a lot of pace on her own.
Yeah, but she's got very good hands and she's a very smart player.
Having some technical problems with our cameras, which we're working on.
You don't like this view?
It's an awesome view if you want to see the gate. So game point for Morgan Sikora. Okay, so that ball missed Jolene Sutter and went out of the court.
Oh, I thought it got her.
I guess Sikora's now asking that question.
Oh, got it. I'm sorry.
Oh, it hit her. Okay, so it did hit her, which Jolene says. That's 2-1. Okay, so Ann Sheedy did have the score right. We should apologize to Ann. That's
Sorry, Ann, for doubting you.
2-1 second set. Shea Sutter. Yeah, you've seen Sutter's game really develop over the last year and a half. She's gotten better and better. I was saying in the last match that when they first started to play together, you saw everybody hitting the balls. 85, 90% of the balls were going to Sutter.
Yeah.
And now that's not happening.
No.
And Sutter was the one who turned the tide in the third set of the last match.
Yep, she did. It looked like Amy wasn't moving as crisply in the third set, and Sutter really got her team over the finish line.
I would say Amy wasn't moving at all.
Yeah.
Which we talked about after the match.
Did you ask them why they weren't switching at the net?
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. And Jolene said that at Nationals, she was really bothered that Jessica Gia was lobbing over her right shoulder, and she really struggled with that shot. But that today, that wasn't a factor, and they were kind of wondering if they should have switched back to normal sides earlier in the match.
Interesting. So it was specific to the matchup.
Specific to the matchup, yeah. Just to recap for viewers just joining us, Shea and Sutter are up 6-4, 2-1.
So far, I haven't seen how Morgan Sikora are creating any opportunities for themselves from the back. Have you?
Nope. And that's 30 love this game. Yeah, and that's the problem is that Sikora drives the ball really well, but a lot of teams have played a lot of softballs to Morgan, and she's kind of struggled to generate offense with that.
But Morgan's a very good blitzer. I would like to see her, trying to get in there behind one of Sikora's drives.
So here we got to see whether Sutter Shea switch at the net. Not looking to switch so far.
It looks so funny.
It does. Patty and I were saying that we'd never seen a high-level match played this way.
Yeah.
There's the switch.
There we go.
Boy, is anybody better than Amy Shea at finding that nick?
No.
Yeah, just a little impatience there. But some really good overheads from Shea and Sutter.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to make your opportunities against them. They hit their overheads, well, and you know they lob deep, so it's hard when you're at the net. I mean, they're a very well-rounded team, Shea and Sutter. There's Sakura trying to make something happen.
That's good cover. Yep.
Game, Shea, Sutter, they lead 3-1. Second set, they won the first set 6-4.
And not to the degree that we discussed it in the last match with Tenaro, not having seen the top-level paddle on a regular basis. You could see it's an issue here.
Yeah.
Morgan Sakura struggle with it a little bit.
No.
15 love.
Now, Shea and Sutter don't play anywhere near the speed that Zabori and Hanisch do.
No, that's a totally different style.
Boy, Sutter's really
What do you think of
driving
this
the ball
underhand? What do you think of this underhand serve, Sakura's sidearm serve?
well. Is not much okay?
That's an answer.
Yeah, it's kind of sitting up. I mean, it got belted the last 2 points. If you're going to hit that serve, you got to get a lower. Amy looking for the nick.
Right, I
She
mean-
finds it.
Of course.
Because if Amy Shea is looking for the nick, it's inevitable she's going to find it.
Yeah, if not the first time and not the second time, certainly the third time.
And they're coming off a win at the Western New England's. Well, that's a better
Yeah,
serve.
they
not
had-
that lower.
Yeah, they had 2 huge wins there. They beat Lauren Gebbia and Carrie Del Monaco, and then they beat
Macy Elliott,
Macy
Marcelo
Elliott.
Resno.
yep.
Yeah, so they got to be brimming with confidence.
I think so. They've been knocking on the door for a while, you know, losing in the quarters and then winning the quarterfinal consolation, having to beat good teams, and they were just waiting for their breakthrough. I mean, of course, Amy's been in the final rounds of all these tournaments a million times. For Jolene, it was a big breakthrough.
But Jolene, after not hitting the first shot, was determined to hit that shot.
30-40.
And she and Amy have such a great relationship. They really have a lot of fun
Yes.
together on the court, off the court. Big point right here in the match. This is almost a must-hold for Morgan Sakura.
I think it is.
Game, Shea, and Sutter.
We talked about that sidearm serve too much, Mark.
Yeah, that's the other problem with it, Lauren, is it's just
Yeah.
prone to
People have
faulting in the
trouble.
big moments.
Yeah.
'Cause
It
it's not
seems to
something
be-
you've done much of.
Yeah, it seems to be more trouble than it's worth in a lot of cases. Well, look, Morgan Sakura are talking. They're going to keep trying to figure this out, but even though paddle has no clock, it feels like the clock is ticking.
Yep. Of course, nobody's going to talk about it more than Amy Shea, regardless of who she's playing with.
It keeps her calm to talk and talk it over.
Well, look at the surprise in Amy Shea's voice. You were right. It really was out. Well, there from Allison Morgan.
15 all.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, one of the things Allison Morgan does so well is she uses her opponent's pace. And Shea and Sutter, even though they can both hit with a lot of pace, they're not trying to win that way. So there's not a lot that they let Morgan use. It's like you said, you know, she has trouble creating her own pace, and this makes it a doubly tough matchup for her.
Amy Shea is one of the smartest players there ever was.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not going to give Allison what she's looking for.
Great blitz there from Morgan. Well, that overhead is just too hard from Sikora. Just completely set up Amy Shea.
But Morgan's got to keep blitzing. That's, I think, the key to this.
Well, that's her strength. That's where the points are going to come from.
That landed in.
Great drive from Jolene Sutter there. She's really seeing the ball.
She got the nick from all the way back there, Mark.
Unbelievable. Boy, after some spectacular quarterfinal play, the semis are shaping up to be a little disappointing. So, Lauren, is it a compliment to call Amy Shea the best player ever to not win a Nationals?
It is. It really. I mean, by a lot, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't even know who else
she's in
you
a league of her own.
Yeah.
Right. She's in a league of her own. I mean, yeah. I mean, it is a compliment. Look, I mean, she's just done everything else in the sport.
For so
and
long.
She's come close.
20
And
years
she's
been
come
at the
close
top
to
of the
winning
game.
Nationals. Yep. Yep.
Just a remarkable talent. And she and Sutter, right now, are one of the best 4 or 5 teams in the country.
They are.
I mean, other than Hana Sabori, who are you going to say is better than them right now?
Yeah. I mean, certainly they're in that next grouping.
I would argue they're ahead of that next grouping. I mean, Cooper Wallenveld haven't played. Cruz Nicolescu haven't played. Anika's hurt.
I don't know that I would put them ahead of Gebbia. And I know they just.
Yeah, I mean, they did beat both those next 2 teams who you'd put in that group, because those are the next teams.
But I put them with them. I don't know that I would put them ahead yet. But look, they're getting better every time they get out here. So you know,
that makes
in
them
a month it could be different.
top 4 or 5 in the country, right?
Yep, definitely.
With a lot of upside. That coming through that last match was so big for them. To have allowed another big lead to get away, that could really scar your psyche.
Totally. Having 10 match points, even if you didn't let a lead get away, could scar your psyche.
There you see Morgan Sikora switching to get the Sikora overhead in the net. At the net and in the net. That takes us to triple match point.
Morgan Sikora just didn't have any answers.
So our 2 teams that played 3.5-hour quarterfinal matches look like they're both going to win and play against each other in the finals. And there it is, game, set, and match. Shea Sutter, 6-4, 6-1. Lauren, any closing thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I just think that the better team won. They just had too much game, and they were just too solid for Morgan Sakura. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the finals. It'll be interesting to see how they handle the juggernaut that is the #1 seed of Hannah Sabori.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because you know that Shea and Sutter are not going to play at that fast pace that we saw destroy Molenveld Tenaro. You know they're going to slow things down, and it's going to require a lot more grinding, and that's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great that, I mean, it wasn't so great to watch, and it wasn't great for the teams who lost, but I think for the teams who made it to the finals, it's good that these semifinal matches were so quick, because they certainly didn't need more practice after the 3-hour quarterfinal matches, and I think it'll make for a better final.
Okay, we're working on a time for the final. My guess is it's going to be between 5:15 and 5:30. But we'll get that up on the stream. Lauren, it was a pleasure to do the match with you, as always, even if it was the match we didn't think we were doing.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Mark.
So 5:30, we'll be right back at 5:30, 5:15, after these messages right here in the APTA YouTube channel presented by eNet Live.